Hello everyone, this is Frozen Vibranium Productions. I'm Bucky, and this is a quick look at the 2019 King of the Monsters Hiya Toys Godzilla. But this is no ordinary action figure review. No. This is an action figure comparison with the 2014 Neca Godzilla. Now, you may be wondering, why, Bucky, are you comparing these two figures? I mean, they're not even the same design. They're like, this one's from the 2014 movie, and this one's from the 2019 movie with the updated design. Like, the colors are different, yada, yada, yada. However, I think that is precisely why there's a need for a comparison here. Not just, one figure to the other, but also how Godzilla's design has evolved in the MonsterVerse. 9 years, 10 years, about to be 10 years of evolution represented here in figure form. So let's take a quick look. As you can see here, this is the Hiya Toys figure. He is a head taller than the Neca. That is, well, I mean, the Godzilla himself has grown between the two of the movies. I think there's probably like an in-universe explanation for it, but it's actually in this case with these figures, it is a company thing. So even the NECA version of the King of the Monsters design is the same size. Hiya Toys, they're just taller, and I think that's cool. The taller, chunkier Godzilla look really fits like the imposing nature of the King of the Monsters. But despite that, the NECA design is really well. I mean, for a figure that's 9 years old, it's aged surprisingly well. I mean, just push you off to the side for a second. Look at all of that detail. I did do an animated review of this guy quite a while back during the infancy of my channel. I took a look at him, took a look at all the paint details, the sculpting. I must say, I still really do appreciate this, even in the age where, I mean, look at this masterpiece. Even in the age where that exists. I mean, all the scales, the bumps, the paintwork. That's one major difference I gotta talk about between these two figures, is the paint. This Godzilla here is more of a turquoise, like a black turquoise look. He's almost like an aquatic like sea creature, whereas this one here, he's more dusty, I guess, more like there's like dirt on him, there's grime. It really accentuates the details, but the sculpting is, I would say, on par for both. But there are a couple of exceptions that I will get into, such as the face. Let me see if I can bring these two in here without, covering them up. Alright, oops. Yeah, take a look at the face on the NECA Godzilla. There's his eyes, first things first, his eyes on this release, they did change it later on with the King of the Monsters, but they're more cat-like. In Jobby's review, let's see if we can focus here. Focus. In Jobby's review, he kind of called them soulless, and while I do agree with that, I think it does look better than the updated NECA design, because that one does look a little odd, I must say. Whereas here with the Hiya, get this guy out of the way. With the Hiya Toys, it's really masterful work. There's like even a little glimmer in there. It's not just, a dot, but like he has soul in those eyes. Perfectly sculpted. And also you can see there's more ridges along the top of the head. It's like almost like a one-to-one recreation of the MonsterVerse Godzilla design. It's a little smoother here. Like there's still ridging, there's still sculpture, but it's not as rough, as textured as you would see on the Hiya Toys. You can see here. What else? One main difference, as I think I mentioned earlier, are the spines. As you can see here, the legendary spines aren't as they aren't as pronounced, and they aren't like the shape, like the distorted like shapes that you could see here. Now, I think it was they wanted to update the design, make it more classic, make it more like Toho's own interpretations of the Godzilla design, less focus on realism and more on the the look of it, the silhouette of him, make it more standout-ish. So he's less like, I don't know, something you'd see in real life, I guess, and more, that's distinct. That is Godzilla. But I do, again, they did offer an in-universe explanation. I think it was in one of the comics. But yeah, that is one of the examples of the evolution of Godzilla, as you can see here. Also, the length of the tails. This is more of a figure thing. You can see here, I think the legendary might be a little longer. Might be. Neca was always big on emphasizing how long their figures are. They'd advertise it as not as a 6-inch scale figure, but as a 12-inch long figure, because with the tail. Also, the articulation in the tail. With the Neca here, it's only a couple segments, and then it goes into a bendy wire. I think that was because Neca had the xenomorph figures for their aliens line, and they're already accustomed to using bendy wires for those figures, whereas like Monster Arts and Hiya Toys here, of course, it's more segmented. Like I prefer these personally, but these bendy wires are able to hold a pose. It's just hard to work with. But yeah, again, like better with animating especially. I always prefer the segmented tails. And I always love me a good swivel. Alright, another difference between the two designs are the feet. Now, as you can see here, 2014's Godzilla, his feet are more elephant-like. The toes are like placed together. The claws, claws, they're not as sharp as on the 2019 design. Those are, again, they're made to resemble more like the Toho suits for those Godzillas. So yeah, let's go into the nitty-gritty of it and check out the figure's articulation, how that has improved over the years. Now, a more apt comparison, I suppose, would be the Monster Arts, but in terms of pricing, especially like what you see nowadays, with Monster Arts figures going in for like hundreds, like for like $100 and up. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good comparison, considering the Hiya Toys is more affordable. Neca was only $20, now the Hiya is like $50. So yeah. With the head and the neck especially, you can see how the Hiya Toys has way more range. Way more range. You look like up this high, Whereas the Neca, it sacrifices posability for the sculpt. Like you could see, like, focus here, like the gills and stuff, you could see are like segmented as like one sculpt. It's not able to look as high up. Definitely not high up as the Hiya, but it's there. And in the articulated jaw, especially, I think it has more range here on the Hiya. Yeah, it can open its mouth wider, much wider. And even has, let me see if you can, I'll zoom in. Oh no, there we go. Even has here, he's been mewing for a bit, an articulated tongue, which is awesome. I mean, props, huge props there. Whereas the Neca, it's posed, it's kept in place. I mean, it's cool, but it's not as cool as having the freedom to be able to pose it. While we're at the mouths here, let me take a quick look at the teeth. The Neca Toys is severely lacking that aspect. They did update it again with their 2019 design, but Focus. There we go. Yeah, Godzilla looked like he just got his teeth knocked out by a bunch of Mutos while fighting. Yeah. Not as good. From the front, it looks pretty good. I would say. It's not as noticeable. It does fit like the reptile design, like same with the eyes. But the Hiya Toys here, he has a full set of teeth. I mean, like, look at that. You just take a bite out of that Muto butt. Wow, I'm stealing all the jobby jokes, aren't I? Can't you tell I'm a fan? So yeah, there is that. One thing you can really tell about the legendary design, like many other Godzilla designs, it does have mammalian aspects. Whereas in the, like, let me pull an example over here. I'll bring in Godzilla. How about that? So look at his face. It's kind of like it's less lizard-like and more like kind of like a dog almost. You could see that. Yeah. Like there's like bumps and like ridges and stuff. His cheeks are kind of like a dog. His eyes are front facing like a dog. He's very much, you know, like a dog, or something like something more mammal than what you would see in the legendary designs, where it's kind of, I guess what you would say like a lizard or an iguana. But the mammalian aspect of the legendary design is the silhouette, front facing at least. He's kind of stood up like a bear, you know, like you ever see pictures of grizzly bears on their hind legs? That's where you see Godzilla, and that look is very well maintained in both of these figures, where he's standing forward with his arms bent. Looks like he's about to claw at you. Very vicious. I love it. For the arms, the articulation is roughly the same, I would say. The Hiya Toys figure has more, I don't think you can see that here. It has more sculpt on the arms. It makes it a little tighter. A little tighter to move, I would say. Whereas the Neca moves freely. It's the same range, of course. I think, honestly, that's a plus. In my eyes, that's a plus, because that means it can hold poses better. Same thing with the tail. It's just better holding poses. Let's see the range of these arms, actually. That's something I didn't check out before the review. It seems to me the Neca figure has more range in the arm, in the bend of the arm. So yeah, there that is. Or, listen, yeah, it has, this one's like 90 degrees. This is like a little less than that. So yeah, same thing with the hand, I would say. I think this one I did check out earlier. Oh, no, the Hiya Toys has more range in the hand. So yeah, there are ups and there are downs. Obviously, I think that, well, I'll say it plainly. The Hiya Toys is the better figure. I mean, 10 years of difference, improvements in skull, improvements in articulation. Speaking of improvements in articulation, look at the legs. All you need to see here is the range. The most the Neca Godzilla can bend is just, can bend forward, can't go much back. Whereas the Hiya Toys is double jointed here, so you can bend, go forward. But yeah, that is action figure evolution right there for you. Plainly to see, we've really come a long way in terms of, you know, Godzilla figures. And honestly, I can't wait to see what they have next in store. It's kind of sad that Neca lost the license a while ago. Would have been cool to see more figures of theirs, especially like the GMK I wanted to get. They released it. It looks like a great figure. I was never able to get my hands on it. But what Hiya Toys has been releasing, and like what they've been announcing, like the Ghidorahs and stuff, it's fantastic. Absolutely. Hope you guys enjoyed this figure retrospective, this action figure evolution. Tune in for more. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these, or just Or if you want to see even more animated figure reviews, like I did with Mandalorian. Yeah, hope to catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.